Yo. Welcome in, man. Today is January the 7th. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show. Bunch of games on the board again for today. Jump into a quick recap as we always do, and see if we can find some winners. Real quick recap of yesterday for myself. Let's see. All right, so the night started with the Bucks. First half full game. I sent that out after the show yesterday. That was an easy winner. Spread was an easy winner as well. And team total under, which I did talk about on the show for the Toronto Raptors, was an easy winner. So that was a winner. Then I was sweating out Spurs. They give 15 points in the fourth quarter against Chicago Bulls and lose the game. So I was 1-1. At the same time, I'm watching the Clippers just fumbled the bag, but they somehow miraculously ended up covering. So we won that one. Team total under for the Timberwolves, under 108. Barely got there. They shouldn't even got that far, honestly, if Ant don't hit a bunch of amazing shots. So 3-1, and then Magic team total under was the other one that I was on. And the Knicks, do what the Knicks do, man. Burn my money like they always do. Knicks end up giving up 104, 103 points, I think it was, to the Magic yesterday, and lose the game outright as a 47-point favorite. Boy. New York Knickerbockers, man. So 3-2 day overall. It did ended up being profitable, but it should have been a lot more profitable if I'm being honest. All right, let's jump into the comments. I don't really enjoy the slate today. A couple games, a couple things that I like. Probably not gonna make big bets, but yeah, I see Scott put this here, man. It's a lot of nonsense going on in the NBA, man. A lot of the teams that I've been betting on been kind of fumbling the bag late, and you hate to see it. So I put this in the Discord last night. I said, man, it's tough to, it's right now it's tough to want to back these teams for the full game. I might have to get on some first half bets, man. Scott says, up 19 and danced it away. Golly, I can't do much more of this nonsense. It's almost like the dogs are always live. Yeah, you hate to see if you San Antonio. San Antonio won the first quarter, first half so easily yesterday. I got to start looking towards San Antonio first half. They maybe having Chris Paul is not enough experience overall. Having Harrison Barnes, maybe they just still are too young. But yeah, they melted away. If you had the Bulls, you probably wake up this morning feeling great about yourself. You shouldn't know. I mean, they literally had the lead up until I think it was less than 2 minutes left in the game. It happens though, especially for myself. Andrew says, if you watch Cal's show yesterday, Prop Beaver gave out Rudy Gobert assists, and I think they did end up cashing last night. Shout out to my guy, Prop Beaver, man. Love Prop Beaver. Let's see. What up, Prolific? What up, Tasha? Mason says, good morning, everyone. Let's get paid. What's up, Christian? Says, NYC love from Chris. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that for sure. Good morning, More Life Sway. Says Jamal Murray has to be coach of the year. Has to be a coach of the year. Yeah, absolutely. You're not going to find a guy that's going to have his team play harder. Unless, like the night before, you give it up to the Utah Jazz when I bet on you. Even the Magic been a little bit inconsistent lately, man. Tasha says, what's wrong with the Knicks, man? Yesterday they didn't have Cat, didn't decide to play defense, thought that it was going to be easy. Magic said, whoa, not so fast. Good morning, Marquise. X says, only caught my live plays, but wins are a win. That's a fact. What up, LJ? Says, let's break down the Boston Celtics and Nuggets game. We will do just that. Boy, Sean. It was terrible, man. It was terrible. Absolutely terrible. What's up to my guy, Justin, in here? G421 says, I don't appreciate Hart going under his assist, messing up my $150 parlay. One down. Got to play it straight, G421. Got to play it straight. What's up, Jacob? Here we go. I knew it was coming. Told y'all Bulls, man. Get out of here, bro. Nobody want to hear that. The Bulls was going to come back and win the game. Yeah. I wouldn't have saw you this morning, Julio, if they didn't come back. But it's all good, man. It's all good. Hey, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. That's just a terrible one right there. DJ Prop says, thanks to jaXon, he caught the Pistons live and cashed on the money line. Jacob says, prop day. I kind of agree with that. I think it's a prop day for sure. Good morning, Brem Bender. My fault. Trying to read a couple things at the same time. Just says the Heat are so trash. I know you had the Heat yesterday. We're going to talk about that game coming off double overtime. I stayed up and watched the whole game last night. Good morning, Brian. Appreciate you for tapping in. B Philly, he says he had a plus 52-41 last night with the Kings game. He needed that double overtime last night. Brian says he's on the Nuggets plus 5.5. We'll get there. Jarrell, I feel like I haven't seen this name in the comments in a while, man. It says peace, ChrisBeCappinn. He said last night had to be the luckiest night. I took the Clippers plus 2.5 and the Kings minus 2.5. Went to sleep when they were down by 17 in the fourth and woke up to a win. Yeah, the Kings have flipped the switch for sure. Like last night was confirmation. When you're coming off a second leg of a back-to-back with travel and you go to double overtime and you still gut it out, the Kings have definitely flipped the switch. They're playing a little bit harder. It took them a while, but they're playing really, really hard now. Now, with that being said, I don't know if I like them in their next game coming off a double overtime game, but they definitely have been playing a lot better. If you watched the game last night, Eric Spoelstra went zone, I think it was, in like the third quarter. He threw everything that the Clippers wanted. I mean, everything that the Kings wanted to do off, and that's why they got down so big. But they still stayed in the game the whole game and came back and gutted it out and found a way to win. So hats off to and that was without Fox too. Like they got a lot of guys out there playing really hard right now, man. But neither here nor there. Let's jump into it for today. We got a lot of games on the board, a lot of things to get through. First up, we start with jaXon, as we always do. jaXon is your AI sports betting companion, buddy, whatever you want to call it, her, whatever you want to call them. Just makes it simplifies so much, saves so much time. We're using jaXon, whether you're looking at player prop stats, trends, want to make charts, you want whatever it is that you need, however it is that you want to bet the game, basketball, football, NCAA, men's NCAA basketball, NCAA football, NBA, MLB. jaXon got a little bit of everything on it, man. So check jaXon out. Today, I was interested in asking jaXon about, I just asked jaXon specifically about the total and the spread between the Rockets. My prompt was just best bet on ATS or total between the Wizards and the Rockets. jaXon tells me that jaXon likes the Rockets minus 11.5. In this line, we'll talk about the game in a second. Likes Rockets minus 11.5. Says why? The team formed a 23-12 on a three-game road winning streak. Have been solid against the spread this season, 20-15 against the number. They've also covered 7 of their last 10 games against the Wizards. And I was talking about this on Cal's show yesterday. Head to head, Houston has won 4 straight games against the Wizards, including a 107-92 victory earlier this season, while they covered as 12-point home favorites. Wizards struggle, only 6-27, 12-20-1 against the number. They've been particularly poor as double-digit underdogs, going 6-9-11. In such situations, Wizards injuries, Wizards could be without key players like Jordan Poole, Bilal Coulibaly, further weakening their already struggling lineup. Defensive edge, Houston ranks 3rd in defensive rating, allowing just 106.7 points per 100 possessions, while Washington ranks 30th in defensive rating, giving up 121.8 points per 100 possessions. Now, as far as the total goes, jaXon likes under 225.5, which I do like the under. All right, so jaXon says defensive-minded Rockets. Houston's defense is elite, holding opponents to the second lowest effective field goal percentage in the league. They also limit second chance points and free throws, which could stifle Washington's offense. Washington's offensive foes, they rank 30th in offensive rating and have struggled to score consistently, averaging just 108.9 points per game. Pace of play, Houston plays at a slower pace, which could limit possessions and keep the total under. The Rockets have gone under in the total in 6 of their last 10 games. With key players like Jalen Green questionable for Houston and Jordan Poole questionable for Washington, both teams could struggle to hit their scoring averages. Recent trends, the Wizards have gone under in 4 of their last 6 games. The Rockets have gone under in 5 of their last 7 games. So final thoughts, the Rockets' defensive dominance and the Wizards' poor form make the Rockets minus 11.5 the stronger ATS play. But a total to under 225.5 is appealing due to Houston's slow pace and Washington's offensive inefficiencies. Both bets align with the current trends and team dynamics. So kind of gave you guys a 2-for-1 here. jaXon likes Rockets and jaXon likes total under. So yeah, check jaXon out. Use code ChrisBeCappinn, 2 P's, 2 N's on whatever tier that you want to sign up for and get 50% off. If you don't like it, you can always cancel. All right, so jumping into that first matchup, we got the Rockets and we got the Wizards in DC. I wrote in my notes yesterday that this was 9.5. The line is ballooned 2 points already. Let me get this comment off. So the line has moved 2 points already. The total open 225 is what I wrote in my 225 and a half. It's come down to 225 right now. It looks like there is, I want to say it's continuing to drop. Let me just double check it. Should have locked. Well, I'm glad I didn't lock it in. I do see a 224 and a half. I also see a 226. So it's some discrepancy in the lines. Injury report, Tari Eason is doubtful. Jalen Green popped up on the injury report, listed as questionable. Brogdon is out. Bud Carrington is questionable. Jordan Poole is also questionable. So you got some injuries on the Wizards side, specifically ball handling duties, which could be difficult for them with no Brogdon, potentially no Poole. So jaXon mentioned this as well. Houston has covered. They've won 4 straight. They've covered all 4 in the last head-to-head meetings between the Wizards. They're 8-2 straight up, 7-3 against the spread when they play against the Wizards. They own this team. They won the last 2 games in DC as well, 114-104, two seasons ago, and then last season they beat the brakes off of 137-114 in DC. So you got a Houston team that just smoked not smoke them. They beat the Lakers by 4. They were laying 4.5 in that spot, so they didn't cover the late line. And they play in Memphis up next, so I don't think they got too much to look forward to. It's not the first leg of a back-to-back. The Wizards, back-to-back losses to the Pelicans in their last 2 games, second straight home game for them. First leg of a back-to-back. They got a game in Philly tomorrow. So looking at this game, man, I just kind of think when I was going through it yesterday, I was looking at the Wizards. They're only 1-3 against the spread on the first leg of a back-to-back this season. They're also 4-0 to the under on the first leg of a back-to-back. The Wizards also are 7-3 to the under in revenge games this season. And if it's double-digit in-season revenge, they're 7-2 to the under. I just don't think that they're going to be able to find a way to score the basketball. I think I was watching that Rockets game the other day against the Wizards, and Amin Thompson kind of sticks out to me a lot in this game. His ability to be able to, and Steven Adams is back now. He had like 9 boards, was just throwing the Lakers around. The Wizards are an even smaller team, in my opinion. I mean, they do got Jonas Valanciunas, but outside of him, like Sar, I don't know if he's physical enough yet. Amin Thompson is an absolute monster. I think he's gonna go down there, dominate the boards. I see his boards listed at 10.5. I think he's gonna have a lot of success. I think the Wizards, as jaXon said, won't get a lot of free throw attempts, a lot of second chance points. And I think the Rockets can come in here and strap up the Wizards. So Wizards team total under, Rockets minus 11.5. I think both of those are the ways that I would play this game, especially with the Wizards being shorthanded. So I wrote in my notes, lean Houston ATS, no look ahead. They play well in DC. Washington has injuries and aren't good. Houston should dominate the boards and should be able to score at the rim, in my opinion. So that's what I wrote in my notes. That's what I like in the game. As far as player prop wise, we will head over to Outlier and look at Mr. Thompson. So this is Outlier for people that are new to the show. Using Outlier, you can handicap props. You can also handicap sides and totals as well, to just give you a little bit more information. But looking at Amin Thompson in this spot, man, I'm watching the game the other day, and I'm using the Houston Rockets broadcasters. They got I forgot the dude's name. He used to play in the league. Is his name Collins? I can't think of his name, but I'm listening to the game, and all I hear is Amin Thompson name and Steven Adams name mentioned every other second. I think that could continue to find some success. I actually wrote this in my notes yesterday. So specifically with Amin Thompson, I like his points plus rebounds. I think he should be able to get both. And he's not, you can see here, like he's only up and over for the last 10, but the books got this line set high for a reason at 28.5. If you look at games if we just look at his last, we know he served that suspension for the little dust up that he got in with Tyler Hero. We look specifically though at his minutes. So this was the first game, this 40.6 minutes right here, just hovering over this Laker game. First game that he played in the starting lineup without Jabari Smith Jr. I think he's going to have about 40 more minutes in this game today. And that should lead to a ton of rebounds plus points. 23 points and 16 rebounds is what he just had against the Lakers the other day. Went well up and over this 28.5. I think this is a line that we get the best of, and I'm going to play this today. This will be an official play. This was at 110, minus 110. Now it's already moving to minus 115. I think Amin Thompson does whatever he wants to do in the paint tonight. So I know it's a super small sample size, but also if we just look at the full season, He doesn't play, a bunch of minutes. You can see right here, he's averaging about 28 minutes. If you take his minutes, if we think that he's going to play more minutes, and let's just put him at 30 this season, which, like I just said, he just had 40 minutes. So we put this at 30, you can see that this goes about 58%. Seven of the 12 games that he's played over 30 minutes, he's gone up and over this number. So in the full season, he's only cashing 21%. You can see here, but with those minutes, you start putting those minutes up to 30, which I'm expecting he plays 30 or more, 58%. You can see that he's cashed in 3, 4, 5 of his last 7 games. I like Amen Thompson a lot today. If you put it at 32, boom, then we get all the way up to 70%. And like I said, he just played 40 minutes in his last game. So Amen Thompson will be an official play for me, points plus rebounds. I think he has a dominant performance today. And that may like that even more than the spread. But I do think it's an under game. If Jalen Green gets ruled in, of course, that's a lot more offense. Without Jalen Green, that's a lot less offense. But I think Amen Thompson does whatever he wants to. I like Amen Thompson over 28.5 points plus rebounds in this spot as my favorite play in this game. All right, enough of that. Let's get back to see what you guys are thinking about this one, and we'll keep it moving. Amen Thompson, go crazy today in DC. All right, let's see. What I miss? What did I miss? Burn says Warriors top spot of the day. We're gonna get to that game in a little while. Let's see. Julio laughing. Bro, I'm not laughing, bro. I was pissed last night. I was steaming. I put it in the Discord last night, but it's all good, man. It's all good. You're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some. I know how to bounce back from my losses. I manage my unit sizes appropriately, all that good stuff. What up, Frankie? Appreciate you for tapping in. Prestigious Prodigy here with us this morning. LJ says Rockets first quarter on the road is a good spot. Real quick, I like to put some numbers to this, and LJ knows his Rockets a lot better than most of us. So let's go to looking everywhere. Let's go look at the Rockets on the first quarter in the road. First quarter on the road this season. There is a couple. Well, I only know of one site where you can get first quarter. MoneyBaller. You can get first half numbers. The Rockets on the in the first quarter on the road this season are 13-2-1 against the number. I will be adding that to my short list. Shout out to my guy LJ. This is what we do. This is what we do the show for, man. Houston, first quarter. That first quarter number, they're 13-2-1 on the road in the first quarter. And you're telling me no Brogdon, potentially no Poole. Ooh, I like this a lot, LJ. First quarter is first quarter spread for the Wizards. Probably like 2.5, 3.5. 3.5 is the best number, but I also see it at 4.5 already. So Houston first quarter minus 3.5. BetMGM has the best number, minus 110 for people that are interested in Rockets first quarter. Also, if we go to MoneyBaller real quick, while LJ pointed this out, if we go to MoneyBaller, and I'm gonna show this to you guys as well. Let's share this. MoneyBaller. All right, so we click the drop down arrow. We go to today's date, which is the 7th. The games will start to populate. All right, so if we go to Rockets Wizards, another fine trend that always feels good to play is we've been playing this for a while now. We look at this team total for the Wizards at the crib this season. First half, you can see here 14-5 to the under are the Wizards on their first half team total under. So first half team total under, first quarter spread. I think both of these are really good ways to get paid in this game today. Let's see, that first half team total under for the Wizards is 51.5. Washington first half team total under 51.5, and that's a super low number. I get it, but they've really struggled to get there. 14-5-1 to the under are the Wizards on their first quarter team total. First half team total. You can see here for the Rockets, when they're on the road in the first half, their opponents are 8-2 to the first half under. So that makes this play very correlated. Wizards give it up on the road, 14-5 to their team total under. Rockets keep holding their opponents under their team total in 8 of their 10 road games so far if they're favored on the road. So love this. I actually don't even really want to go through too many more comments. I don't even want to see it. Shout out to my guy LJ, man. Shout out to LJ. First half team total under. FanDuel has it at -114 for people that are interested. So I'm just jotting these down. All right, let's see what else you guys are saying about this one. And then we'll get on to the next game. Wizards don't cover without Brogdon, LJ says. Jacob got a 9 yesterday. Good work getting out early in front of the line. Why aren't these props? Why are there props there if they're questionable? Because they don't, just because they're questionable don't mean that they're not going to play. So you got to keep it there. B Structure says definitely taking the Rockets spread. Let's see. It's a lot of ways to get paid. AOD, what up, AOD? Says Rockets first half, smack City spot. Shout out to my guy Jay. Marquis says he got a -9.5 last night. No props with double spreads, Justin says. No props with double spreads. That is going to make me second guess my man Thompson. I think he goes crazy in this spot, though. What I will say about the to Justin's point here, what I will say about this game is that the Rockets got a lot of guys that can score the basketball, man. Like you got Cam Whitmore could have a 20-point game here. Jason Tate off the bench could have a big game coming off the bench. He's a dog. Like this Rockets team they got a little bit of depth, man, especially with only having, especially if Jalen Green is out. But if Jalen Green is out, maybe the spread comes down. I don't think it really matters. I think they could beat the Wizards by double digits without Jalen Green, if I'm being honest. Dylan Brooks over 15 for Brim Reaper. Sports Scientist says, Jacob says, Amen Thompson double is -110. Hold up. Let's go look at this. Because that's even better. That's even better. Shout out to, I didn't even think about that. Why my mind don't go to double? Definitely think he's getting 10 points and his rebound set at 10.5. So the books think he's going up and over that number as well. Oh, you got it at that. It ain't there no more. Amen Thompson double is -130. Yeah, it's -130 now. On FanDuel. Jacob got a hell of a number there. -150 on Bet365. So implied odds said that this is gonna happen as well. Bet -160 on Bet36 on BetMGM too. So yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. If you build it out, maybe you can get it at better odds. But yeah, I'm seeing -130 the best odds right now. Let's see. We put Hero in his place. LJ says, you heard what Thompson said after the game? Yeah, I did. He says, I'm trying to get 20 rebounds. Double is the play. And I like that a lot, LJ. I like that a lot. He did say in the he was getting interviewed after the game. He said, I'm trying to go for 21 game. And I think he's going to get there. He could definitely do it against the Wizards. All right, enough time on this game, man. I appreciate everybody for dropping their looks here. I got to get to the next one. Way too much time on this game. What up, PZ says Heat +4.5 was brutal last night. They had to win until they didn't. And it goes that way all the time, man. These teams are just getting smoked. And at the end of the game, if I put my hard-earned money on them. Julio says the under is the best play. I do like under, Julio. So we in agreement in this one. Definitely like under. I like a lot of this stuff, though. It may just be a Washington Wizards team total under, if I'm being honest, too. What up, Helms? Appreciate you for tapping in. Certified Chubby says, good morning, Chris. School just started today, but money don't stop. Let's get some cash. I need it. I don't want to butcher your name. Tell me how you pronounce this. Is this Nalia? I'm probably messed that up, but good morning. She says like the Wizards +11.5 and the Amen Thompson points. So one of them I like, one of them I don't. Douglas says Rockets first quarter -5.5 in the first quarter at +110 on Hard Rock. So he's willing to go out there and lay a little extra juice on it. Okay. Real DJX says this game gonna be like the Blazers and the Pistons from last night. Ray says Wizards first half team total under. I talked about that one. What up, Jose? Let's see. Justin dropping some Some college basketball likes Iowa tonight. Andrew says, morning, Chris, rocking with the Houston Rockets, minus 11.5, no problem. Okay. All right, let's keep it moving. Enough time on this game. Next one we got up, Suns and the Hornets. This line was crazy. So the line opened at 5 yesterday on one sports book, and the total was at 226. That's what I wrote in my notes yesterday. This was super early in the day, of course. Then I saw it go down to +4 on, I think it was on Fanatics, and the total was at 225. And then, of course, as the game starts for the Phoenix Suns yesterday, it comes all the way down to 3, and now it's back up to 4.5. The total has come all the way down to 222, which I do agree. Well, total came down to 221. Now it's back up to 222. Kind of got to know what's going on with the injury report here. So let's jump into it. The Charlotte Hornets, don't have Brandon Miller or LaMelo Ball listed on the injury report. Just Seth Curry, who's listed as questionable, and Trey Mann remains out for them. On the Phoenix side, they can submit their injury report late, of course. I'm kind of the mindset that they may rest somebody. Don't take that to the bank because I'm not 100% sure. But with this line being so low, like, it kind of made me think that they could potentially rest somebody here. So they got a big win last night. They had to come from behind to get that win against the Philadelphia 76ers after going down. I think it was like 3-14 in the first quarter. But the experiment worked. You know, Mike Budenholzer wanted to move Bradley Beal and Nurkic to the bench, and they responded well. Watched the post-game interviews. Both of them said that, you know, they didn't want to be cancerous. They didn't necessarily agree with it, but they were going to be professionals about it. And they did exactly what we thought that, well, not exactly what we thought they would do, but they got the job done, especially with Joel Embiid being ruled out. So if you got a Phoenix plus 3.5 yesterday, a Phoenix -2, whatever the line was that you got it at, that was a winning ticket. As far as injury report, only thing we know for sure is that Royce O'Neal is going to be out. I don't even think he's with the team. So Phoenix has actually dominated the Charlotte Hornets as of late. They've won 7 straight in the head-to-head matchup. They've covered the last 3 in Charlotte specifically as well. So you do get them on the second leg of a back-to-back third game in 4 nights, though. They've not been profitable in that spot on the season, just 1-5 straight up, 2-4 against the spread when they're playing on the second leg of a back-to-back. The Hornets are going to be desperate to play a lot better. They've been terrible as of late. They've lost 10 games in a row. I think 18 of their last 19 they've lost. They're only 7-27 straight up on the season. 23-11 to the under this season are the Charlotte Hornets, including 7 straight unders. And they are 0-5 when their opponents are unrested straight up, before 1 against the spread. So this line seems short. I think it's short because, potential. The Hornets are always going to play teams tough most of the time anyway. But I also think that the Phoenix Suns could potentially rest somebody here. So I'm not interested in playing this spread early. I do think that when I was looking into it last night, just looking at MoneyBaller, and I'll go back to MoneyBaller really quickly. When I was looking into this one last night, what stood out to me was Phoenix first half. I think if they're going to come out with anything, if they're going to win the game, which if you're Phoenix, like, we got to remember, Phoenix is still on the outside looking in. Like, 1 win, all right, cool. You can't celebrate that one without Joel Embiid being there, especially with how things have been recently. Like, you really need to go ahead and, start to stack up some wins. So if we look at the Suns and Hornets and we just look at it from a matchup perspective, you can see situational notes here. And this is a MoneyBaller again. There's a 50% promo code in the description of the video if you guys want to check out MoneyBallers. Sign up, check it out, whatever the case might be. So Suns here, second leg of back-to-back third game in 4 nights. I mentioned this already. There is a baller system on the under with the line falling. So it says back road teams that haven't been doing well as opponents in their last several games. But you also got a baller system on the over here based on the recent higher scoring games for the Charlotte Hornets. We know that LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller did just come back against Charlotte the other day. And that game still ended up going under because they couldn't score the basketball. So if we come down here, specifically what I was looking at in this game, I was looking at first half. So you can see the Suns have only been a road favorite in the first half 6 times. They're 4-2 against the spread. And look at the Hornets as a home dog in the first half. 6-11. So the Hornets get smoked early in the game, but then they do find a way to cover. Look at this, 9-8. This implies that the Rockets go down big in the first half, only 6-11 against the spread as a home dog. And they're 9-8. So they end up coming back in the second half, but they do go down big. Suns, again, 4-2 in the first half against the spread on the road. But look at the Suns with the rest disadvantage. Over here, they're 2-7 for the full game with the rest disadvantage. In the first half, they're 6-3 though. So I like Suns. I was thinking first half, but like I said, I kind of want to see who's going to be on the injury report here for the Suns and see if they end up ruling anybody out. I think player prop wise, looking at Bradley Beal, sometimes I'm watching the post game interview last night, and man, sometimes I kind of feel like you need to kind of be putting time out to be like, yo, you're not playing up to the standard. And that's what I feel like happened with Bill. All of a sudden, Bradley Beal gets sent to the bench, and he remember how to play basketball again. Bradley Beal absolutely hooped yesterday. I know somebody talked about, liking his player prop under in the comments, and I was like, I don't know if I play his under today. Not getting sent to the bench. This is gonna fire him up. He actually led the team, and it is the crazy thing. The starters played their regular starting lineup played so many minutes in this game. Together, they still finished together, but sometimes you need that as a wake up. He played 30 minutes, which was still the third most on the team. Shot 10 for 15 from the field, had 25 points, super aggressive, super assertive. Sometimes you need that as a wake up call, and that's what we saw happen with Bradley Beal yesterday. So Devin Booker didn't play well. He only shot 3 for 16. It could be a bounce back for him. He finished with just 10 points. KD still going under. I only had 23 points yesterday. Glad I didn't go back to the well with him, even though he did shoot 9 for 14 from the field. Points prop just seemed to be a tad bit too high. I kind of feel like if everybody's in, I like the Suns in this spot, specifically in the first half, just being that they could run out of gas, maybe end up winning the game by 3 points or something like that. So no play before the game, but I like Suns first half if everybody's in. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. Let's see. Jacob says he took under 224. LJ says Hornets are number 1 under team in the NBA, and that's a fact. I just gave you guys the numbers: 23-11 to the under, including 7 straight. Now, granted, LaMelo Ball has not been a part of all of those, but even when I was looking into the numbers, their offense ain't but so much better with LaMelo and Brandon Miller on the floor. And it's crazy to think that, because you would think it gets a lot better. They still just play super slow. It's one of the least efficient teams in the NBA. It's not like they're, matter of fact, real quick, Charlotte is on the full season, I want to say probably the second most inefficient team in the NBA, averaging just 107.6 points. I think this is worse than every other team except probably the Washington Wizards. Yeah, the Wizards, the only team that's less efficient. Hard to win basketball games when you don't play, when you can't score the basketball. Second worst in effective field goal percentage. They also turn the ball over at the 4th highest rate. Last 5 games, they're actually the worst offensive rated team, worst in effective field goal percentage. And they're getting the fewest offensive rebounds, so not a lot of second chance opportunities. And I'm right there with you, LJ. When you think about the way Phoenix plays, they play super slow. That game went under last night against Philly. Charlotte still plays defense. Defensively, Charlotte actually the 3rd best defense over the last 5 games. And that's probably going to change with Brandon Miller and LaMelo being back, because those aren't plus defenders. But Charlotte, 3rd best defensive rated team, which is why you see this game, you see the total coming down. Justin says close to the Suns over. He likes the Suns over in this spot. See how that goes. Julio says Phoenix a pass. Steph Curry is probable, Jeff says. Bill to the Say out Wizards, man. Man, don't do Bill like that, man. Bill bounced back yesterday. Jeff B says Hornets money line. Are they due for a dub? Okay. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's too early to really talk about this game, because I'm interested, like I said, to see the injury report. B Structure said he got the Suns minus 130 last night. I do think that they're going to have to keep winning. She's likes LaMelo over his points, rebounds, and assists. Mark William points. Cash tonight. Saul says too much line movement. I'd lean Suns money line only because LaMelo is shooting badly. He may be the reason they can't cover in the Suns start a winning streak. I do think that they win the game. Like, you can't come in here and play with your food, because the Hornets, like I said, they're 1-18 in their last 19 games. They're going to be hungry for a win. Suns going to have to bring it on the second leg of a back-to-back, and they have not done so this season. This is a very winnable game, though. Very winnable game. 1-5 straight up, 2-4 against the spread are the Suns on the second leg of a back-to-back. All right, let's see. Mikal Bridges over his rebounds and assists for Merrill. Tyus Jones over his 4.5 assists. Mark Williams points plus rebounds over. Let's see. Suns first half, Vaughn likes it. He said Levitt got it at 2. So that Suns first half number is, let's see, it should be 2, probably 2.5. Let's see. Best number available is, you can still get 2 on Caesars right now. Love Caesars, man. Caesars always got a janky line, and they don't limit you either. Love Caesars. So you can get Suns -2 right now, and that's the way that I was looking at this one. Suns first half -2, but like I said, I got to wait on the injury report. LJ says Suns have more defense with new starting lineup. That's a fact. Their defense is really good, man. Got LaMelo at 25, Jacob says. Phoenix a pass for Julio. Suns first half, she likes it as well. J-Dub says Devin Booker over his points, thinks it's a bounce back for him. I can see it. What up, C-Ray says, what up, Chris? Phoenix don't have any problem with 4.5 and the under seems right. I agree with that. Let's see. I know it's random, but what happens if someone has a player to lead in scoring as a bet and they tie with someone else in that game? No idea, because I'm not betting into that market. I would guess it's probably a loss because they're not the leader. If you tie for the leader, you're not the leader. So I don't know if it's a push or you lose. No idea. It's not a market that I bet into too often. Let's see. What else? Melo over his 30.5 points plus rebounds would be Felly. All right, let's get into the next one, man. Let's get into the next one. And we got some first half money line here for the Suns as well. I couldn't talk you off. All right, let's get into the next game. We got Lakers and the Mavs, game I did bet. I bet the Lakers last night, -5. I think it was 4.5, 5. This line, of course, is moved. If you're watching the game last night, you got to know that these lines are going to move, especially with the teams on the second leg of a back-to-back. Lakers, rested in this spot coming off the loss. So getting into the matchup, we'll get into the injury report, which is paramount in this game. This is an ESPN game. If the Mavs was to come, I'll say this right now, if the Mavs were able to cover this number moving up to 7, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Lakers don't win by margin most of the time. But it's a terrible spot for the Mavs, in my opinion. So injury report, Anthony Davis and Bron should play. Gabe Vincent is listed as game time decision. So Lakers should be pretty good. As long as you haven't been living underneath a rock, Kyrie Irving has already been ruled out. He's going to miss the next 2 weeks. Get well soon, Kyrie. I think it's like a disc in his back. Of course, no Luka. Dante Exum remains out. And then Daniel Gafford also goes out last night. You hate to see that even if you wanted a part of Dallas. And Coach Jason Kidd already said that that he was going to be out for a significant amount of time after, I think he rolled his ankle pretty bad last night. So, second leg of a back-to-back, coming off a divisional game. Dallas is, look like a shell of themselves. They're 0-6 against the spread, even after covering the first half last night. 0-6 against the spread in games with both without Luka and Kyrie. And they lost, I think it's 5 straight games in a row now. So Lakers with the rest advantage here, coming off a loss. You'd like to see. Well, I'd rather have the Lakers coming off a loss than coming off a win, because that's when they, come out and don't play hard, which is what they did in the last game against Houston. They had won a couple games at home. They go to Houston and give up 71 points. I think it was almost 70 points in the first half the other day. So you should get a fired up Lakers team, in my opinion, here. Second road game, so not a lot of tax in the body. Was in Dallas before Dallas was. This is a 5th game in 8 nights for the Lakers. So you don't like to see that, especially with them having older bodies, but they do have the rest advantage in this game, in my opinion. If you go through and just look at, some advantages for the Lakers here, I was looking into this. First of all, I think that they absolutely lock up the Dallas Mavericks. So I would lean towards the team total to go under. This team total, the total was at 223. Right now, I think the total it's down to 2. I agree with this. Down to 219.5. It looks like it's the best number, 218.5. Dallas should struggle to score the basketball. The Lakers and JJ Redick have really started to implement the lineup of Austin Reeves at the point guard position, with Max Christie, who's a plus defender, unless he's guarding Jalen Green, who absolutely crushed him the other night. And then you got LeBron James. Dorian Finney-Smith has been playing, like, really starting to get acclimated between him and Rui Hachimura, who are both pretty good defenders, and then Anthony Davis at center. They should have enough to win this game by 2 possessions, in my opinion. Looking at Dallas on the offensive end, I mean, of course, you know, they look like a shell of themselves. 26th in offensive rating over the last 5 games, 20th in effective field goal percentage. They're turning the ball over at a pretty high rate, 19th in turnover rate. Not getting a ton of offensive rebounds, 5th fewest over the last 5 games. So Dallas I'm thinking that they're going to, you know, struggle to score the basketball with the Lakers' new, you know, defensive mindset, I guess is the best way of putting it. Lakers defending the 3-point line really well, which is where Dallas like to take a lot of their shots. Lakers actually top 10 in 3-point defense, actually 6, holding teams to about 32%. And that's where I'm thinking Dallas is going to try to, you know, score the basketballs from the 3-point line. They don't have a offensive presence. This is not the same Dallas Mavericks team that we know from the beginning of the season. They are 6th best offensive rated team on the full season, averaging 117 points per 100 possessions. Last 5 games, though, just 107. So I think that they struggle to score the basketball. The Lakers should be able to win the game by multiple possessions. I don't like it all the way at 7. When I was looking into this yesterday, and one of the things that jumped out to me is the Lakers this season in their road win. So if the Lakers win on the road, they're only 5-3 against the spread. They winning by just 6 points in these games. Now, they have had some wins where they've, you know, won by more. They beat the Kings by 13, beat the Spurs by 18. But it's a lot of single-digit wins in here, and that's the reason why I didn't even go full unit on the Lakers. You don't like it for the Mavs, because if they lose the game in their home losses, they are 0-6 against the spread, though. So if they lose at the crib, they haven't covered any number so far this season. They lose by an average of 10 points. Just lost to the Cavs by 12. Did lose to the Timberwolves by 6. Lost to the Clippers by 23. They got a 7-point loss to the Pacers and a 6-point loss to the Rockets. So I think it is going to be a tightly contested game. Of course, these games had Luka and Kyrie in. The Lakers should be the right side. I'm not endorsing a 7, though, with the Lakers. I just gave out the -5. Let's see what you guys are thinking about here. I didn't bet any player props in this game either. Austin Reeves, his assist probably going to be a popular look, I'm guessing, but I didn't bet anything in that one as far as player props go. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. We'll keep it moving. JW likes Rockets on the money line. Here we go. So Justin says it's a push. He says he pushed on Dame plus 300, top score last night. Okay, so that's good that they give you your money back. I guess it is a tie. Makes sense. LJ says Dallas 0-6 against the spread without Luka and Kyrie, but it's hard to trust the Lakers on the road, and I agree. That's why I wanted to get in early. I think the line opened at 4.5, and I got a little bit of 4.5 and a little bit of 5, so we'll see how it goes. Dallas plus the points for Julio. Lake show bounce back spot. Lakers -3.5 is what Jacob said he got it at, so he got the best of the number. No Kyrie, Lakers -7. No Kyrie. Dorian Finney-Smith, revenge game here for Parlay J. I don't know how much you want to get back at his old team, but he did play for the Mavs for a very long time. Julio says Lakers first half, and then he thinks the Mavs could come back in the second half. I would slightly disagree with that. Thinking that the Lakers, not that they can't win the first half, but if you think the Mavs gonna cover, it's probably gonna be early. They could run out of gas in this spot, is what I'm thinking, especially with travel on the second leg of a back-to-back. PJ Washington overs makes a lot of sense. He's gonna have to do a lot with no Kyrie, Luka, and no Gafford now. B. Felly says he likes Bron overs, 15.5 rebounds and assists. Brim Reaper says, Brim Bender, I keep saying Reaper. Brim Bender says Reeves over his 2.5 threes. I can see that. Reeves over his rebounds. LeBron over his threes. I can't bet on LeBron threes. Mark says he took the -5 with me last night. Let's cash it, Mark. Mark been cashing, man. Like being on the same side with Mark. Paulie J says they did trade him to the Nets. I want revenge. Shout out to Dorian Finney-Smith, man. 757. Lakers ride. Williams says Lakers money line on the parlay. Play it safe. Jimmy J says Washington rebound under 10.5. Under 10 rebounds and assists risky or nah? Absolutely, that's risky. Yeah, that's risky with the usage that he's gonna get. Yeah, that's super risky. All right, next game up. Let's go Timberwolves and Pelicans. This line was at 5. Well, actually opened plus 5.5. It went down to 5. I think I saw it go down to 5. It's still 5 on a couple books, and then the it's up to 5, back up to 5.5 now. And the total, I got in my notes 223, but I see it's down to 220.5. And I think I agree with the total coming down. Also, we'll jump into it. Let's go injury report first. So we got the Timberwolves, who can submit late, of course. Rob Dillingham is already out, but they could potentially rest some of their older guy like Mike Conley on the second leg of a back-to-back here, because there's also a pretty bad travel spot, which we'll talk about for the Timberwolves in just a second. I feel like I'm sitting up too low. All right, so jumping into the matchup, the injuries for the Pelicans, we got DeJounte Murray listed as questionable here. He was listed as questionable in the last game versus the Wizards as well. It's gonna be interesting to see if he plays. We also got Trey Murphy ruled out. If Trey Murphy was in, I was taking the Pelicans. I'm just keeping a buck with you guys. I wanted Trey Murphy in, though. He didn't practice yesterday. He went down against the Wizards in that game on Sunday after having a really good game as well. He's already been ruled out. Interesting to note, Zion, who had been participating in 5-on-5 practice on Monday, at first he said that he had a chance to play this week, and now Zion's actually been upgraded to questionable. Now, if he comes in, I don't know what kind of shape Zion gonna be in. He ain't played a game, I think, in 27 games, is what I read. So Zion could potentially play, and if he plays, could potentially be out of shape. And I think he's definitely gonna be out of shape. Pelicans first half might be the top play in this game, now that I'm kind of thinking it out a little bit more. Pelicans first half, man. If Zion plays, he probably got one good half in him. He probably don't got two, in my opinion. As the game goes on, it could be hard. I actually want to take the Pelicans in the full game as well, though. And it's the first meeting of the season between the two teams. Pels did beat them the last 2 games. They've covered 3 of the last 3 spreads, so they've matched up really well with this Minnesota team. Coming off back-to-back wins for the Pelicans. Granted, it was against the Wizards, but that super long losing streak, they finally started to get, kind of maybe get over the hump a little bit. They got the rest advantage here. It's the first leg of a back-to-back with the Blazers coming to town tomorrow, so they don't have to travel tomorrow. And then it's just a situational spot for the Timberwolves, man. I'm not ready to back the Timberwolves because they had, I don't even know if you want to call it a good game. I just said Anthony Edwards hit a lot of heroic shots for anybody who watched that game last night. Dante DiVincenzo stepped up and played well. Chris Finch finally changed the starting lineup like we talked about. I talked about that yesterday, and he finally did it. Started, Dante DiVincenzo yesterday. And if you watch not Rudy Gobert, Julius Randle was not part of the closing lineup. He was actually on the bench, and Naz Reid was in, which Julius Randle played terrible last night. So the more I think about the game, I'm thinking about it last night. I'm like, man, I don't want the Timberwolves. This team is 6-7 as a favorite on the road this season. We just saw them get smoked by the Detroit Pistons. They're only 1-3 straight up and against the spread when they're playing on the second leg of a back-to-back this season. So this is, Pels plus 5.5 or nothing for me. 9 different gems for the Minnesota Timberwolves in their last 9 games. They have not had any, consistency, just, going home, playing a game, packing up, back on the road, travel, back at home. Like, it's been a pretty bad spot for them. So on this, 9 different gyms, second leg of a back-to-back, third game in 4 nights, fourth game in 6 nights for the Pelicans. I want nothing to do with them laying points on the road. Pels at home, a lot better than they are on the road as well. Minnesota coming off that big win last night against the Clippers. It only be the Pelicans plus 5.5 for me. No, a lot of people probably not gonna like this one, but I'm not laying points with the Timberwolves. I had them in a money line parlay against Detroit on the second leg of a back-to-back. They smoked it. Can't quite get there. Also, just haven't really been covering spreads. So let's see real quick. I want to go to MoneyBaller real quick so you guys can see what I see. And again, like I said, MoneyBaller, there is a 50% promo code for people that are interested in checking this out across all sports. You can, handicap NFL as well. I always forget to mention that, but you can look at NFL stuff on here as well. So you see the situational notes here for the Timberwolves. Like I said, second leg of a back-to-back, third game in 4 nights, fourth game in 6 nights. Pelicans do have the rest advantage. Baller system says fade teams, fatigue factor, and travel, and that's what we see here. So there are some baller systems here on the Timberwolves, which, like I said, I don't really like these. Back row favorites with revenge, but this is like last season revenge, so I don't really think that matters as much. Back row favorites on the road trip versus home teams with the next game at home. I don't think it says complacent. I don't think the Pelicans can be complacent just because they are so bad on the full season. You can see right here, they're only 7-29 on the full season. So then it's got an over system as well. All right, so this is what I was looking at last night, right? So you got the Timberwolves schedule right here. So Timberwolves on the road against the Pelicans. This is today's game right here. Last night, they were at home against the Clippers. 2 nights ago, they were in Detroit. 2 days before that, they were at home versus Boston. Before that, they were at home versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm sorry, they were on the road against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Before that, they played against the San Antonio Spurs. They were at home. Before that, they were in Houston. Before that, they were in Dallas. Before that, they were in Atlanta. So this is what I mean. Road, home. I'm sorry. Road, home, back on the road. Don't like the spot for the Timberwolves here at all. And I do think that this catches up with them in the spot. I just don't know what Zion gonna look like. So if we keep coming down, you can see the efficiency stuff. Timberwolves not efficient team. They also only covering. Timberwolves actually the second worst ATS team in the NBA. That's crazy. 37% of their games is what they're covering. That's insane. A lot of it has been their offense. They struggle. 109.24, 22nd in point score per game. Offensive rating just 21st. But this is what I wanted to see right here. So against the spread, the Timberwolves on the road in the first half, just 5-8 against the number. And like I said, only 6-7 against the number for the full game. The Pelicans at the crib in the first half as a dog, 11-4 against the spread, man. I think it's Pelicans first half in this spot for me or nothing at all. It's the only way I want to look at this game. And I just wanted to show you guys that. You can also see some team total stuff here. Strong trend towards the Timberwolves team total to go under. In the first half, their offense sucks if they're a road favorite. In the full game, same thing with the rest disadvantage. They're also 3-0 to their team total under. And like we talked about, this total has already started to drop. Not like the Pelicans play a lot of defense, but yeah, I think it's some support here. Not looking towards the Pelicans at all in this game, man. Not at all. I actually don't want Zion in, but I wanted Trey Murphy in. So that's what held me up. No play on the game, but a look towards the Pelicans in this spot first half. The best number you can get first half is plus 3.5 right now over on FanDuel. That would be my recommendation for this game. Didn't look into player props in this one either. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. T-Wolves are trash. Minnesota a pass for Julio. It's going to be a blowout. Timberwolves -8. Edwards over his points plus rebounds and assists. Julius Randle over his points. Timmy's -5. Easy game, Williams says. So everybody liking the Timberwolves. Like it. Let's see. Vaughn says Wolves started Dante DiVincenzo last night and the spacing was better and they seemed to play a little faster. I think it's a good move for the Timberwolves. They played a little faster in the second quarter. In the first quarter, they had like 19 points. But yeah, he shot the ball well. Do we think Dante DiVincenzo is going to continue to shoot the ball that well? I would say not consistently. Timberwolves, a big part of their problem, in my opinion, is that their offense has been so inconsistent. If the threes are going in, yeah, they could beat anybody. Like I said, Anthony Edwards was playing a little bit of hero ball last night. I don't think that they're going to be able to knock those threes down consistently. Pelicans are not a great three-point defense, but last 5 games, they're 13th. So not the worst three-point defense, holding teams to about 34% from the three-point line. I don't think it's going to be consistent. LJ says DeJounte Murray assist is cranked up. Double-double is worth a look. I was looking at DeJounte Murray real quick. Let's go back to Outlier. I got time today, man. It's a snow day. I'm about to go shovel some more snow that we got in Virginia and have a snowball fight with my son. after we get done with the show. He probably still asleep. All right, so real quick, let's go back to MoneyBaller. To OzJam, to Outlier. All right, so looking at LJ talked about DeJounte Murray up and over his assists. So if he plays, we'll see if he plays. DeJounte Murray has struggled to score the basketball. I'm so glad he pointed this out. Shout out to my guy, Sai. We was texting about this the other day. He liked DeJounte Murray points and assists to go under the other day against the Wizards. And I think it cashed. Yeah, it's saying that it cashed here. So you can see DeJounte Murray is under his points and assists here in every game that he's played in the last 10 games except one against the Denver Nuggets where he had 32. So super strong trend towards DeJounte Murray points and assists to go under. When I see stuff like this, the first thing that comes to my mind is it the points or is it the assists? So if you go look at his assists, you can see that he's actually been cashing, right? 12 assists, back-to-back games versus the Wizards. Line sitting at 7.5. He's up and over 7 of the last 10 games. So what does that tell you? It tells you that he hasn't been scoring. DeJounte Murray under his points prop is probably a really good look. Look at this. DeJounte Murray hasn't scored 19 points, which is what his line is sitting at since he played against the Pacers on December the 15th. That's almost a full month DeJounte Murray has gone under his points prop. You can see that the Timberwolves, granted their offense sucks, but their defense is good. 5th in points allowed versus the point guard, 4th in points allowed. You just don't like it as much without Trey Murphy being out because that's a significant scoring edge that you had for him being able to go out there and get buckets. But with Zion potentially being back, I would look at DeJounte Murray under his points prop here. I think that I like that better than his assist going over because I think the Timberwolves can play defense in this spot even if their offense doesn't show up. DeJounte Murray under 18.5 points is going to be my recommendation here. Shout out to my guy, Sai. What up, Sai? My bro just texted me. All right, so that's DeJounte Murray here. I like his points under. Shout out to my guy, Sai, for putting me on this look the other day, though. I just kind of remixed it a little bit. All right, so back to the comment section here. We got, let's see what else are you guys seeing. Shout out to LJ for bringing that up, though. Vaughn says, if Zion plays, I'm taking his unders. Julio says 118 to 110 Wolves. CJ McCollum over his points, rebounds, and assists. Same day says Dante DiVincenzo 3 threes. Points, rebounds, and assists to go over. Charles says Zion ain't trying to play no basketball, man. This is waiting on a live bet when the Timberwolves are down and take them at plus money. If that's the case, you like the Pelicans first half, though. Ride with me. It's like, nah, I'm just kidding. I ain't even bet it yet myself. Wolves are going to come to play, Williams says. Zion, no Zion. There are some Zion props up, Chad says. Okay, I didn't even look at Zion lines. Chad, what's up, Chad? He says when you tie as a top scorer, the profit is split between however many people tied. Sometimes you can actually lose money on a tie on the leading scorer when you guys tie if it's a long favorite or multiple ties. That makes sense too, because then you're having to split a plus 300. That makes sense. Okay. So, and it also, house rules. You got to check which sportsbook you're playing on. CJ points for Kristen, and she likes Nas Reed threes. What up, Katie? Says good morning, Chad, sir. Let's see what else. Ant threes. Ant gonna shoot a ton of them, so I could never talk you off of that. Let's see. I wanted Pelicans, but too many injuries, Brian says. Yeah, if I had Trey Murphy, man, I think I would be on him here. I still not laying points with the Timberwolves on the road, though. It's kind of like the Pistons at home. See what happened when they're a favorite. They never cover. At the crib as a favorite. 1-6 against the spread last night. After last night, win, but they didn't cover. Dollar spread is confusing, John says. Justin says, I just hit the like button. It don't matter, man. Appreciate you, though, Justin. Let's see. DJ Pop says, if I use your code to sign up for jaXon monthly, can I use your code again in a few months if I still like jaXon to sign up early? Nope. You cannot, DJ Pop. I try to say this every day, but whatever tier you sign up for is what you get the discount for. So if you like it and you sign up for a month, you can't use the promo code again. So it may be other promo codes out there, but yeah. Bro, I gotta keep it moving, man. Let's enough on that game. What up, Ski? Let me know if you need one today, Ski. Definitely can come back on and talk the games out with you. Let me know if you need one, bro. All right, so Hawks and Jazz next game up. Not a game I'm super interested in. Injury report first and foremost. We got we'll go Atlanta. I guess Atlanta first. We got Jalen Johnson already out. We know it's a no bet for the Hawks when Jalen Johnson is not playing. Trae Young is listed as probable. Bogdanovich is listed as probable as well. Larry Nance continues to remain out. And Cody Zeller doesn't mean anything. He hasn't been playing for quite a while. Utah has listed Lauri Markkanen as questionable after missing the game against the Magic in their last game. John Collins remains out. I always talk about not liking the Jazz without John Collins. He's missed the last two games. I think it was for personal reasons. And then Keontae George, their leading ball handler, is also out in this game as well. And Jordan Clarkson is going to be out, I think, for like 1 or 2 weeks. I think I saw that as well. So this was a game, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I didn't even look too deeply into this game. Maybe we can go MoneyBaller again to look a little bit deeper at it, but I wasn't really interested in this game. I'm not laying points with the Hawks on the road. That's something that I'm definitely not doing, especially without Jalen Johnson. So we'll look a little deeper into it real quick. Let's go back to MoneyBaller. Maybe a prop game, but not anything that I know there's a 99.9% chance that I'm not betting this game. But we can look through it real quick. So real quick, even before we get to MoneyBaller, let's go. All right, so we got let's see. The Jazz first meeting of the season this season. Jazz beat the Atlanta Hawks last time that they played on March 15th in Utah, 124-122. That game went up and over a total of 223.5 points by about 20 points. So over sticks out, but the under is 7-3 in the last 10 meetings. You got an Atlanta team that's lost 3 straight, haven't covered any of them. Lost to Denver, lost to Lakers, lost to the Clippers on the second leg of a back-to-back. So 5th game of a 6-game road trip for them. They finish off in 2 days against the Phoenix Suns. Kind of look like a shell of themselves on this road trip. All of their losses have been by double digits. Denver lost by 19. Lakers lost by 17. And the Clippers smoked them by 26. So that's probably something if we look into SDQL. Team laying 6.5 points after losing 3 straight games by double digits. It's probably a strong trend towards Atlanta. I'll look into that after the show because I don't want to do it on the show. Hold the show up even more. So then on the Utah side, back-to-back wins against the Miami Heat and Orlando Magic. Covered back-to-back games. Got smoked by the Knicks before that. First game back home off a 3-game road trip. This is the 3rd game in 4 nights for them as well. Only 1 day of rest, traveling from Orlando back to the crib. And they play the Miami Heat again coming up. Miami probably going to smoke them in that game after Miami probably gets smoked tonight against the Golden State Warriors. So starting to make sense here. All right. So Jazz are 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 games and 7-3 to the over in their last 10 games. So some trends towards the over here. All right, so going to MoneyBaller, we got rest advantage for the Hawks. They also been on the West Coast longer. 3rd game in 4 nights for the Jazz, and they're coming off a win as a dog, 2 wins as a dog. So potential letdown spot here. You got some baller systems on the Hawks, well rested, 2 or more days rest. Back road favorites with revenge. That is last season revenge though. Fade teams who has played more of their games on the road in their most recent games. Just mentioned the Jazz playing a lot of games on the road recently. Back road favorites. Oh, wow. Yeah, the Jazz. This is a terrible spot for the Jazz. I'm looking a little bit deeper. The Jazz have actually played 8 of their last 10 games on the road. They had 2 home games against the Philadelphia 76ers and the Denver Nuggets. Before that, they won a 5-game road trip. After that, they just came off a 3-game road trip. So 8 of their last 10 games have been on the road. I can't back the Jazz here. Can't back the Jazz in that spot. That's a fade spot. This is the same spot here that the Sixers were in yesterday. 8 of their last 10 games have been on the road. Back road favorites that have not been doing well as opponents in their last several games. looking like an Atlanta spot, man. Maybe just bet on Trae Young. I don't want to bet on Atlanta without Jalen Johnson. He means about 11 points to the point spread, to their offensive and defensive numbers, I mean. All right, so let's look into trends. So we got the Hawks 1-5 against the spread on the road as a favorite. Oh gosh. The Jazz as a home dog, 6-8 against the spread in the first half. So you don't like that a lot. Jazz also 5-9 against the spread as a home dog. The Hawks are 1-4 against the spread. Boy, maybe Atlanta early. They are 3-2 against the spread, laying points on the road. What about the over-under trend? So Hawks in the first half, 21-15 to the over. Jazz in the first half, 25-9 to the under. Jesus, the Jazz with the rest disadvantage in the first half, 0-8 against to the under. Man, yeah, I'm not gonna waste y'all time, man. Hawks as a favorite of 2.5 to 7 points, 1-8 against the spread. Yeah, backwood like Ski and the Crew said, man. I'm not gonna touch this one. We'll go back. We'll get over to the next one. I can't quite get there. Even if the trend's back it, I don't think I could back it myself. All right. Any thoughts on this one? I didn't look into player props at all. Let's see. Hawks -6.5 for JW. William says, I'm lost in this game. Me too. My thoughts exactly. Terrence says, shout out to the channel. In the chat, I'm new here looking for winners. Appreciate you for tapping in, Terrence, for sure. She says Hawks should still get the job done, but I don't trust them. Don't trust them without Jalen, probably. I'm thinking that as well. Ski says, I'm skipping the morning show today. I need a haircut, Chris, so bad. Tomorrow, if you want to, I'm with it. Okay, yeah, we could do. I think we could do tomorrow, Ski. Just let me know. Let me know for sure. We probably can get it done. Marquis says Capella double. How about the total? John says we just looked into some over/under stuff. I can't quite get there with any of that. I don't want to like hold a show up. I can look into some advanced numbers without. So I tell you guys, without Jalen Johnson on the floor, the Hawks defense is significantly worse. Without John Collins on the floor, the Jazz defense is significantly worse. I'm talking about both teams probably giving up about 6 more points per 100 possessions. If we think that the game is going to be played at a fast pace and that Utah is going to be able to keep up, and that the Jazz defense is going to continue to be, and that the Hawks defense is going to continue to be trash, then it is an over spot. But 236.5 is a big number. You need both teams to get to about 119, 120 comfortably in this game. And we just saw that the Utah Jazz, I mean, they're playing a bunch of G League guys out there. And if Lauri Markkanen doesn't play, I can't quite do anything with this game. So those are kind of my preliminary thoughts on the total without looking at, even deeper into it. Jalen Johnson also impacts the Hawks offense. Like their offense is going to struggle. Maybe a look towards, I'll write down DeAndre Hunter. He will play big minutes off the bench. He had a streak of like games where he is scoring 20 points or more in a bunch of games in a row. I know he's been struggling recently against the Clippers and against the Nuggets, but he's going to have ample opportunity in this game. And the Jazz don't have a defender that scares me at all. So maybe a look towards DeAndre Hunter points prop is, I'm just thinking on the fly, over on his points or over on his threes. We know that the Jazz are not a good 3-point defense. That's about all I got. Trae Young assists, probably good money in this spot. He's still going to have the ball in his hand. He has been scoring a little bit more, Trae Young, especially without Jalen Johnson there. I can't get there, man. This total is steadily going up, though. I see it all the way up to 237 on DraftKings. So, what else? DeAndre Hunter over his points. She likes it. The lead says you went 7-0 last night, bro. Glad you've been cashing, man. What else y'all saying? Mark likes over 236.5. Okay. Hawks -5 when Jacob got it. No Jalen Johnson. No thanks. She right there with you. Can't quite get there. Jazz game over for prolific 74. Utah does give it up to us to give it the most assists to a point guard. Trae Young over his assists. What is Trae Young assists? Trae Young assists is, I should have probably got there with this last night. I could see this probably only continuing to move upwards. Probably not going to be no money coming in or under here. Jazz giving up the 5th most assists to the point guard overall, the 4th most assists to the point guard position. No Keontae George. Defense probably going to get even worse. Well, Keontae George is not a good defender. Defense might get better. Trae Young assists listed at 11.5. He had 14 against the Clippers, and they got smoked in that game. So I do like Trae Young over his 11.5 assists. I'll look a little deeper into that if it was something that I wanted to play in this game. Let's see real quick. Games without Jalen Johnson in. He is played 10 games without Jalen Johnson. He's cashed in 5 of them. Averaging 22.5 potential assists in this spot. Yeah, he could definitely get there. Without Jalen Johnson, he has 33 potential assists against the Sacramento Kings, finished with 19, 27 potential assists against Denver. He finished with 10, which, I mean, that's a terrible conversion rate. 18 against Denver. In the next game, he finished with 18 potential, finished with 9. And then against the Clippers, he had 28 potential assists and finished with 14. That might be the best look on the board. Trae Young up and over his assists at 11.5, and it's super juice, minus 140. So I don't like that either. Maybe just take it at 12.5. Maybe you can get some plus money. Over 12, you can get minus 119. Sheesh, I probably should have got to that earlier. Okay. Pass, Julio says, right there with you. Let's see, what else? Justin says a lot of non-members, you know, people gonna try to eat off whatever they can, Justin. They just here, man. They just here. When you say 0-8 to the under, does that mean it went over 8 times? No, that means it went under 8 times. But like 0-8 to the under. I'm sorry, 8-0 to the under. 8-0 to the under. 0-8 to the under means it has to go under. Yeah. So you got that right. I'm sorry. I read that wrong. Let's see. Any other comments on this game? I think that's enough, man. Think that's enough. Let's keep it moving. Next game we got up is the Celtics and the Nuggets. How many games we got left? I think 2. 2 more games left. I think it's just 2 more games left. All right. So let's go Celtics and Nuggets. This line moving a lot. Yeah, there's just 2 more games. This line open 5, up to 5.5 now. Denver Nuggets being a home dog here. Total, I wrote in my notes 237. Come down to 234.5. It looks like it's consensus. Some 235s out there, some 235.5s as well, 234.5s out there. So you can get whatever it is that you want. Nuggets are being pushed to more of a dog though. Open 5. Money's coming in on Boston, pushing this up to 6 now. Some 5.5s out there as well. So we'll start with the injury report here. We got nobody on the injury report for the Boston Celtics. You like to see that if you like Boston. On the Denver side, we got Aaron Gordon did go through practice yesterday. I wrote that in my notes. He will not play in today's game. And that's really the only person that matters for the Denver Nuggets. So situationally, we got Boston not in the greatest spot. This is their 4th straight road game, 4th game in 6 nights, and it's a 5th game in 8 nights for the Boston Celtics. They, of course, lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder after building that double-digit first half lead the other day and taking my money, smoking my money, I should say. So I like to back Boston off a loss. Like, that's first and foremost. And this is the last game of the road trip for them, too, as well. So They actually did pretty good on the road trip. Beat Minnesota in Minnesota, beat Houston in Houston. Both of those games, won and covered the spread. And then, like I said, ran into probably maybe the best team in the league right now currently. Them and the Cleveland Cavaliers, which we got that game tomorrow. Super excited for that. The Oklahoma City Thunder just shut the water off for them. 27 points, I think, is what the Boston Celtics scored in the whole second half combined after having 65 in the first half. And that, you know what? That leads me kind of to the play, man. But let's talk about Denver first. So Denver, kind of Jekyll and Hyde, man. 6-4 straight up last 10 games, 5-5 against the spread. They cover, they don't. They cover, they don't. They have covered 4 of their last 5 spreads. They most recently Went to overtime versus the San Antonio Spurs. Won that game 122-111. So back-to-back unders for them. They lost to the Spurs before that. They beat the Atlanta Hawks, beat the Jazz, beat Detroit, lost to the Cavs, lost to the Suns. So it's kind of Jekyll and Hyde team. You do got them off 2 days rest here. First leg of a back-to-back. They got the Clippers coming to town tomorrow. And going back to the Boston thing, this just makes way too much sense for me not to bet Boston, specifically in the first half. I don't want anything to do with Boston for the full game. Hopefully this number has not moved. I played this right before. I didn't even send it out yet. I'll be on Boston. You can get a first half -3 right now over on DraftKings. That's the play for myself here. I think you get a fired up Boston team after giving up that double-digit first half lead to OKC on Sunday. Denver 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 first half games. At home in their last 10 first half games in general. Then they typically wake up. They dominate the third quarter, which correlates with Boston kind of giving up a halftime lead, which is exactly what we see. Boston, for whatever reason, sometimes they can struggle to put it together for the full season. On the season, Denver has been the worst first half team in the NBA. 8-26 against the spread in the first half are the Denver Nuggets. That's worse than the Wizards. That's worse than everybody. Boston is a +7 in the first half if they're coming off a loss this season. So they have about a 7-point margin in the first half. I do think Boston should be able to score the ball. We know that Denver has, if they've taken any kind of a step back this season, it's been on the defensive end. They've really struggled defensively without having Aaron Gordon, Boston having a full squad, Boston off a loss. Give me Boston in the first half. I don't care what happens after that. Can they win the game by 3 possessions at this point? Potentially, but I don't want to put my money on Boston, especially with a 5th game in 8 nights. I will put it on them in the first half where they historically have done really, really well over the last few years. As far as player props in this game, should we not bet on Jokic? Jokic, we'll go back to Outlier really quickly, pull up Jokic, and I'll go through the comments. So Jokic been killing, man. I'm not saying anything new, but just to kind of put some numbers to it and some, just so you guys can kind of see the visual. Nikola Jokic, can he get everything and get the triple double and the points plus rebounds and assists? Absolutely. If I'm betting on Jokic though, I just want his points. When I look at this Denver Nuggets team, they really rely heavily on Jokic just to go out there and do everything. But more specifically, recently scored a basketball. His points prop sitting at 29.5. San Antonio doesn't play a slow pace, at a super fast pace. Back-to-back games were 41 and 46. And this is against the defensive player of the year. We don't even have to worry about, as long as he stays healthy. I think the last time I checked the odds, Wemby was like a -250. So if he can do this against Wemby, Porzingis is also barbecue chicken, in my opinion. You look at the full season for Jokic, he's over, excuse me, this is 52% of the times, 16-31. Over in 4 of his last 5 games, you can see that here. Crushing this line of 29.5. Over in both of his games in head-to-head matchups, so he's had some success against them as well. These are the last 2 meetings last season, once on the road, once at home. Scored 34 and 32. And we do got a Boston team that's been pretty good against the guarding the paint. 14th in opponent rim frequency, 4th in opponent rim accuracy. They're also 9th in opponent paint frequency and 1st in opponent paint accuracy over the last 5 games. But does it really matter? Jokic, we know, is an MVP candidate. Him and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander going to be neck and neck again. Like I said, he just abused Wemby, who's the defensive player of the year. And I have trust issues betting on anybody else that plays for the Denver Nuggets just because they are not consistent. But I think Jokic, comes to play like he always do at the crib. So I like Jokic up and over his points at 29.5. And I like Boston first half -3 in this game. Thoughts on this one? Let's see. Jokic triple-double, she says. LJ says Boston first half on the road versus the West is the spot I wanted to look up. Boston plays hard early in the first half away from the crib, and I agree with this a lot. And that's one of the things I was looking at too. So first half, I was also looking in the first quarter on the road. Don't know if I'll get there. Boston kind of off a loss, I think that it's better than the actual trends. But Boston just 9-8 in the first quarter on the road. Jokic probably gonna play most of the first quarter. The Nuggets are 6-8-2 in the first quarter at home this season. So I mean that's not profitable if you've been betting them. The first quarter in general, Denver also the worst in the NBA, 12-20-2 against the spread. The Celtics are overall, like I said, 9-8 against the spread in the first quarter, specifically. LJ, Jacob got Celtics -4. LJ says Boston, Denver over 236. Denver is 11-0 to the over versus the East, averaging 225 points total last 7 games versus the East. I mean, they're gonna play. It's gonna be interesting to see who dictates pace. Boston is, I think, running at the slowest pace over the last 5 games as far as transition frequency. They just so cool with playing slow, and we know Denver's been playing the total opposite. They're gonna try to get up and down the floor and not try to play in the half court against Boston's really elite defense, especially when they have a full roster. So that's going to be interesting, in my opinion, to see who dictates pace in this game. But I wish you the best of luck, LJ. I'm not playing the total here. Jalen likes Boston first half. Quincy says Celtics first half. LJ says Jokic is averaging 28, 12, and 11.5 assists in his 6 games versus the East at home this season. Jokic is different, bro. That is different, man. Prolific says Boston first half. Julio says Boston first half. Cash cow. A lot of people like this first half. Vaughn says love the under in this spot. So some pushback here on the over. She says he likes over. Julio says yes, under. He thinks under as well. I think Jacob, somebody asked about a squad ride. Looks like the squad ride might be a lot of people liking this first half, and I like it as well. You can get a -3, 3.5 on every other book. Only one book got a 3.5 right now. Mark says Boston -4.5 when the line dropped. I do like the first half, but need to check line available in Texas. Derek says Boston first half. If Derek like it, I like it too. He says Boston first half -3.5. Boston 4-1 against the spread in the first half on the road last 5. Denver 2-3 against the spread first half last 5 games at home. She says Jokic triple-double looks free. Boston first half -3. Sign me up, B Philly says. Good morning, Miranda. She says Jokic points, rebounds, and assists is what I'm aiming for. I could see it. I could definitely see it. I could see this getting there. Sure. LJ says Westbrook been stealing rebounds and average and assists from Jokic. He missed a triple-double 2 games in a row. That's why I like the points a little bit more. I don't know if Boston gonna be giving up a ton of assists. Could they? Yeah, absolutely. But I like the points more. I think Jokic's gonna have to score the basketball for sure in this spot. Good morning, Miranda. I appreciate you for checking in. Enjoy your day. Appreciate you for checking in for sure. Not barbecue chicken choices. Under first half, Julio says. Specifically liking the first half under. Charles says numbers don't lie. Marquis says Westbrook over his rebounds and assists at 12.5. Justin says going to play Jokic triple-double and over on his points. So some alignment here for sure. Brian says Boston first half 3.5. It's the 3.5s everywhere. That's why you got to shop around. Get odds jam so you can get that 3. Actually, it just moved back to 3.5. So you're right. I like the 3 or the 3.5, honestly. And yeah, Jacob has been dropping plays in the Discord trying to get just trying to share some insight early. He get to the game before I do. Hopefully we can get to 10K. We don't talk about all that, but hopefully if people enjoy the channel enough, we can get to 10K pretty soon. Continue to do my part, and the community probably still just gonna keep growing. It's all positive vibes. We all trying to cash, no egos. We just trying to get to the winners, man. And we break it down and put channels in the shows and all that good stuff, so you can go back, chapters and titles in the show, so you can go back and watch whatever breakdown it is that you want to see from the comments to myself. So yeah, let's get to the last game on the board. We'll talk about this one in the Discord. I did stay up and watch the double overtime last night between the Miami Heat and the Sacramento Kings. The line was at 6.5 at that point. It's all the way up to 9.5 now. Looks like it's coming back down to 9. The total at that point was 219.5, and it hasn't really moved a lot. It's still about 219. The only thing that's dropped is the team total for the Miami Heat. I put this in the Discord last night. That team total, I think it was at 107.5, and it's down now to down to 104.5. So the Miami Heat have lost 3 points of value on their team total. The Warriors team total has gone up. I think it was a 111.5. It's up to 113.5. So not that we really need to handicap this too much for people. I know a lot of people probably fell asleep and didn't stay up for that game last night. But for people who missed that, whenever you see a team, open whenever you see a team go to overtime and the line is already out for the next game, the books haven't accounted for that team going to overtime. You lose some steam when, not that, you necessarily the team that went to overtime is going, play bad and that type of thing is going to have a big impact in the next game, but it has an impact when you're playing more basketball, especially as far as legs go. So that's one overtime. Then you go 2 overtimes, and of course the trend gets even bigger, right? And that's why this line started to move from 6.5 to 7, 7.5 to 8. I'm just sitting there watching it move because I really don't want to take the Warriors. that's the reason why. Like, I really don't want to take the Warriors. Now, granted, Warriors minus 6.5 is a bet that's gonna win more times than not. That's what the line opened at. I don't think I bet it though. I had it in the bet slip when it popped up the second overtime, and I was like, I still don't think I won it. So I don't think I bet it. I had to go through it. And if I did bet it, it was a smaller bet. I don't think I bet Miami 6.5 though. Warriors minus 6.5. And the reason why I didn't is because even though the Miami Heat are in the worst possible spot ever, second leg of a back-to-back, third game in 4 nights, second game on the West Coast, 7th game in 11 nights, like, this is a terrible spot for the Miami Heat. And that's why I would kind of look towards the team total to go under more so than the actual spread. 104.5 is extremely low number, of course. A number you probably want to get ahead of. 104.5 is available. It's dropping down to 103. The Warriors are coming off a 30-point loss to the Sacramento Kings. They should be fired up and motivated in this game. You don't have Jonathan Kuminga out there. You don't have Brandon Podziemski. The Warriors offense also been struggling. So I do think that they're going to have to lean on their defense with Schroeder, Wiggins, Draymond, Trace Jackson Davis. It just sets up for a really, really bad spot for the Miami Heat in this game. Now, they lost last night. That was the first game, since losing to the Jazz, where they also lost by 30. But you just kind of see them running out of gas last night, and that's why you actually got to tip your cap to the Sacramento Kings, because the Kings went to double overtime off the second leg of a back-to-back after just facing the Golden State Warriors. This is not a good spot at all. Like I said, second leg of a back-to-back, third game in 4 nights, second game on the West Coast is the sleepy spot that J Money always talks about. So if you like Miami, maybe you take them first half, think they're gonna come out with something, but for the full game, they over the course of time, if you've been sports betting, you see a team like the Miami Heat absolutely run out of gas coming off the second leg of an overtime game. Also, I was looking at the Heat in general last night while the game was going on, and without Jimmy Butler on the floor, their offense has really, really struggled. Real quick to put some numbers with that, last 5 games, the Miami Heat are only averaging 108.8 points per 100 possessions. Their offense is the 5th worst in the NBA. Bottom 10 in effective field goal percentage. They're not getting a ton of offensive rebounds. They are 4th in free throw. Hold on, real quick. Let me just double check something. So they are 4th in free throw rate. The Warriors do foul at a pretty high rate. The Heat are playing fast. I don't think that they're going to play as fast in this game. They're 8th in pace over the last 5 games. Golden State is 15th in pace. And the Miami Heat are shooting a ton of threes. Not going in, but they're shooting. All they've been really wanting to do is shoot a ton of threes. With Tyler Hero, he's starting to finally get, the number 1 treatment. He's always been the number 2 guy when Jimmy Butler's there. But now teams are starting to send double teams at him, that type of thing. He's having to learn quickly that as the number 1 guy, it's a little bit different out there. So yeah, I think, looking at the mid-range shot zone, Miami is 5th in frequency, 5th in accuracy. Golden State been kind of giving that up, but coming off a 30-point loss, I don't want to lay points for Golden State, so I couldn't quite get there, even though this is an advantageous matchup, an advantageous spot for them. I would just probably look towards the Miami team total under. Maybe if you like Miami, you can get some points in the first half. Golden State absolutely blows the doors off of them in the second half. Kind of makes a ton of sense here. So those are my thoughts on this one. Let's see what you guys are thinking. And as far as player prop goes for the Miami Heat side of things, I would be only looking towards unders. I could see a lot of unders in this game, specifically with the team running out of gas lately. Not sure who unders I would go on. Maybe Tyler Hero. We'll have to kind of go through it and see who has the high numbers. I'm not expecting anybody to have too highly inflated numbers, but I would also want to go back and look at the minutes that were played last night as well. Let's see what you guys are saying about this one. Real DJX, the Celtics winning by 10 against the Nuggets. Burns said it. Warriors top spot. Wonder what number you get, Burns. I know you probably ain't getting no 9.5. I know you probably got a better number. Vaughn says Chris got the shorties in here. Yeah, the channel is definitely growing. Tasha was by herself for a while. Oh man. All right, let's keep going, man. She says Warriors are nothing. Julio says under. What up, Thomas? Appreciate you for tapping in. JW says too many points. Ski says I'm out. Can't even think about the Heat after that disgrace last night. Good luck to everyone. Appreciate you, Ski. And people who don't know, man, Ski got his own YouTube channel. He does a show 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time over, and you can just type his name in on YouTube and it'll pop straight up. Ski I think he was on Bucks yesterday, was an easy winner. Gave out Cade yesterday over his points, rebounds, and assists. Another easy winner. Ski been killing, been running it up lately. So definitely check out my guy Ski. Keely, what's up, bro? Says good morning, fam. Just locking in. He likes the Rockets first quarter, first half. His favorite look on the board today. DeMar went Kobe Bean Bryant on him last night. Got your boys' pockets on Squalls, Craig says. Yeah, DeMar was cooking last night. That game winner was tough. After the pump fake as well. He can do stuff like that. He's definitely he was definitely the clutchest player on the floor last night. B. Philly says Wiggins under his 5.5 boards. Julio says Golden State early. Jacob says play the team total 105.5 for the Heat. Got Warriors, Rockets, Pacers, money line parlay. Thomas says he got the Rockets minus 9.5. LaMelo over his 25.5 points. Bro, Olympic says, damn, these games be late. I be sleep. Yeah, man. It'd be like that. It definitely be like that. 5th game in 7 nights for the Heat. I mentioned 7th and 11 nights as well, Burns. That Golden State not going to be in a better spot. Not going to be in a better spot tonight. Mark says, I may live bet over 204 in last night's game. Fade Hami Jaquez Jr. off his triple-double, J-Man says. That could be it. Miranda says she went under on Steph. His points, rebounds, and assists. Thinks that everybody else can get the job done as well. Doesn't need as much. Hot TV Grist likes the first half for the Celtics, the Rockets, Jokic over his points. These are all things that I talked about. Burns says he got a 5.5 with the Warriors. That's a great spot. Justin says it was a great show. Appreciate you as always for tapping in, Justin. We'll chop it up in the Discord later, probably. Let's see. Burns says, Chris, how important is Kuminga to the Warriors? He is important, Burns, because I mean the Warriors. When you look at the Warriors, their offense has struggled, right? Like, they're averaging 113.5 points over their last handful of games, but the Warriors offense on the full season is bottom 10. This is not a good offense because all they want to do is shoot a ton of threes, and they haven't been making them. So Kuminga gives them a guy that can attack the paint outside of Wiggins and get downhill. You're already missing Brandon Pozinski. Like, it's a lot of points, which is why I think it goes under. But I don't have enough confidence to bet the under here. But I think they got to rely a little bit more on their defense without Kuminga. So real quick, let's just look at it real quick, and then we'll get into a quick recap. So Golden State this season with Kuminga on the floor, they are, and I'm gonna give you guys the numbers with Jimmy Butler as well. So with Kuminga on the floor, the Golden State Warriors are a plus 1.8 in net rating. They're averaging 113.9, so right at about 114 points with him on the floor. Defensive rating of a 112 with Kuminga off the floor. Offensive rating stays at about a 111. So 2 less points scored with Kuminga on the floor. Defense also gets a little bit better, 110 compared to the 112 with him on the floor. If we flip this and look at the Miami Heat. If we look at no Jimmy, and if you had the under last night, man, that sucks because this game ended up going over in overtime. But without Jimmy, with Jimmy on the floor, the Miami Heat are averaging 120 points per 100 possessions, giving up 115. So they are +5 with Jimmy on the floor. Without Jimmy, their offense goes from a 120 to a 109 in offense rating. So that's about 11 points. And that was one of the reasons why, like I said, I think this game goes under today, specifically that team total under. But I didn't bet it, though. I didn't bet it. I still didn't like it that much. But like Burns said, it's definitely a warrior spot for sure. Fifth game in 7 nights. Let's see. Yeah, you got lucky last night, Jacob. They were down 17 in the fourth quarter. I did not think that they were going to give it up like that. Like I said, shout out to the Kings, man, not giving up. They didn't definitely turn the leaf for sure. All right, let's get into a quick recap. This is what I had on my short list before the show. Definitely gonna go ahead and update this because there's some things that we kind of talked through here. The Boston first half, though, I bet it right before the show. 3.5. You still can get that. I haven't even sent this out yet. The Boston first half, I didn't think it was gonna move too much. It's still 3.5. I like it. Best number available right now is on BetMGM at -105 for the 3.5. Lakers, I bet last night -5. That number is gone. Houston, Washington under 225.5 was the number that it was. I'm not sure where it is right now. And this is just the red plays or leans, right? Short list plays that I have not bet yet. And I want to know if Jalen Green's going to play before I play that under. Don't like it as much without Jalen Green in. Asir Thompson, double, somebody mentioned. Forgot who mentioned it in the comments. I know it's -130. I think it's a great look, though. If you don't want to play Asir Thompson points plus rebounds, his double. I think if you build it out on Bet365, you're gonna get the best odds. -130 on FanDuel. I think that's a really good look today against the Wizards. The Pels +5.5 probably just end up being a lean, even though I'm not laying points with the Timberwolves on the road. We also had same game. It's a lot of things. I'm gonna go through all of them real quick. So LJ mentioned Houston first quarter. That the best number for that was -3.5. They are, I think it was 13-2-1 against the spread in the first quarter on the road. So I love that look from LJ. That Washington first half team total, especially if Jordan Poole does not play, is 51.5. They were, what was the number? The Rockets were 8-2. Their opponents were 8-2 to the under on their team total, I think is what we looked up. So I like that. That's a lot of plays for the same game. Just pick the one that you like the most, man. In the Washington team total under 107.5. I like that number. See what happened with Jordan Poole, though. Phoenix first half, we talked about that. -2 you could get. I think it was over on Caesars. But wait on the injury report. See if anybody gets rolled out for Phoenix. I think that line is short for a reason. New Orleans first half plus the 3.5. A lot of games. And then DeJounte Murray, we looked it up. DeJounte under them points, under 18.5 points. I would only play this if Zion got rolled in, though, because when the way I think about it, with no Trey Murphy, he may be needed to score the basketball a little bit more, even though you still got some scores. Other honorable mentions would be DeAndre Hunter. I need to look a little bit more into DeAndre Hunter, but I mean, it makes sense. DeAndre Hunter over his points, I don't even know what the line is, probably like 18.5. And Trae Young over his 11.5 assists. I think all of these are really good looks for it today, man. All of these are really good looks for today, in my opinion. Yeah. Official plays, Boston -5, minus the 3.5 in the first half, Lakers -5. But I'm gonna be adding throughout the day. Just sharing insight early with you guys. Hope this helpful. I think we probably helped out some people, not just myself, but the people in the comments as well. I think we got some winners here for sure. Best of luck on whatever it is that you guys are betting as always, man. All of the resources, I've shared them throughout the show, are listed here. jaXon, 50% referral code in the description of the video. Same thing, 50% off over on MoneyBaller. Kind of broke the games down using MoneyBaller. Same thing with Outlier. 7-day free trial in the link of the description. And OddsJam is what I use to get the best odds on it, whatever bet that I'm playing. I always look at the sportsbook screen page. So that's the show for today. Best of luck on all your action. We will be back bright and early tomorrow. Best of luck, like I said, on all your action today. Enjoy your Tuesday, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning. I'm out.